How can people partner with you in your ministry?
Well, I think one way to partner is to, well, I mean, prayer partnership is really great. We talk about that. We talk about financial support and all those kind of things. But I personally would love if partners would be willing to hear back. You know, what does the gospel look like in a different place? I mean, that would make me feel like more of a gift back home, because I think too often supporting churches, missionaries themselves, think of themselves as this big gift to give. And I think really we're realizing that it is a two-way street, but it might actually be greater in reverse than it is in forward motion. So like if partners, if churches, if people would want, and in a way I'm probably being really idealistic because I feel that in my bones, but how to get somebody else to feel that is really hard. And so it's not, so in a way it's probably just a wish, and maybe that's what heaven's going to be like when we finally get to feel what that's like in a more satisfying way. Yeah, I don't know how to say that. I mean, we're so thankful for partnership and people who value the complexity, and probably even realizing that, you know, we're just not going to get all what we would like to get, but to value that there's something there, and to think that there's a gift, and if I only get it a little bit now, I can look forward to getting it more and maybe another relationship here in the United States, that you're encouraged to do something in miniature with people who are different around you, and so that would be kind of like we're taking this kind of an approach and actually implementing it instead of kind of
it's not isolated with just what we're doing here.
Yeah.
It is being transplanted and bearing fruit even in the United States, even in the perspectives. And I think it becomes a really personal part because we live with these people, and okay, it's been hard, but you grow to love these people and value their culture, and God just pours so much into your own spiritual life, and you don't read the Bible the same way. I remember we had our Christmas Eve services under the stars, and I'm like the shepherds, you know, and you're reading these texts, and just different things would totally come alive because I lived in a culture that more resembled like an Old Testament culture where sacrifice was happening, where there were multiple wives, and all of a sudden I started understanding things in the Bible that I just kind of breezed past, and then the graciousness of these people that are willing to put up with us, and it just becomes this beautiful relationship. And I really want the people that we talk to, our partners, to love them and be connected to these people and look at them not just as a project and that we're just giving them, but just to receive back all the gifts that they have. And I think that's so hard. I mean, there's this responsibility on our part to communicate it, but it's hard. And I think that some places are more receptive to that. You know, some pastors and churches, or you get some people in the churches that are just like, yes, like you can just see that they're receiving that gift. And then I guess like Nathan referred to, the ultimate goal of letting that transform and do something in them that actually becomes not just a knowledge about something, but becomes an action or a change in their life, that it has impacted them that way. Because it's powerful. I mean,
yeah, but it's so hard. Like we were describing before about how our way of living had to be really refigured, like in terms of everything, in terms of food and in the United States, like I mean, things are so fast, and if people want to change, they just add in this little tiny component into a system that is like a monster. You know, you really need to let that little tiny component like germinate and actually start making more room in your life. But more often than not, it just gets kind of sectioned away to one more thing that, you know, we should think about once in a while, you know, like 1 minute out of the year, and then you check that box. And you just wish that there'd be more, because I think our lives are impoverished because of it. I think a lot of people, if you look at it, would be kind of sad about North American lifestyle. It's pretty bland. It's pretty, you know, we're really, there's a lot of richness, there's a lot of
Yeah.
texture, there's a lot of depth that,
Like
that
the
could be added
relationships
to.
are a bit anemic.
And not to say that that's so ideal over there, I think that's
Yeah.
the wrong
Yeah.
point. I think it needs, you know, we need to be working back and forth. I don't think it's that everything's just like wonderful Garden of Eden. That's far from the truth. There is tons of suffering, there's tons of pain, but there are different strategies that they have learned and are learning, and we need, you know, need to keep strengthening there too.
Yeah.
But anyway, heaven's a good place for that too.